cohesive storyline. So but that's me anyway.
Okay.
5, Hunger Games: Catching Fire. We've already gone over Hunger Games. It's a really good film. Did brilliant at the box office again. It's another one of those movies that is still taking money anyway. 4, I don't know why this is here. Monsters University.
Yeah, it's a terrible movie.
It's just it was a bad idea to go with a prequel and then make a really lazy prequel like this. It took £28.8 million at the box office, and that's huge for that film. And it seemed to have stayed in the charts way too long. It outdid its welcome. And it was just really weak, considering that Monsters, Inc. is a really good film. And we didn't need to see a prequel. Sequel would have been better. 3, Iron Man 3, which I've seen it twice, and on the second viewing of it, I thought it was much more weaker than the first viewing of it. I thought it was boring. But my favourite superhero movie of the year was Thor 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think
by far.
Yeah. I'd agree with that, yeah.
It's a much more entertaining film. It was just boring. The big set pieces of the film were shown in the trailer. And when you do that, the rest of the movie was just a bit lackluster, to be honest. Number 2, Les Miserables. Taking £38.6 million, a musical, an entire musical where there's only like a couple of sentences of dialogue in the entirety of the film. It's a brilliant film. I watched it for a second time a couple of days ago. And I hate Hugh Jackman. I really hate Hugh Jackman.
Because he had...
All right, calm down, Dr. Cox.
Yeah, I did say this on my show, that if I saw Hugh Jackman, I would punch him in the face.
See, he would try you in too.
Yeah, I know he would, but I would give a good fight against him. Because I just hate him. He can act, he can dance, he can sing, he's good looking, he's got muscles. I really hate him.
Bah, humbug.
Exactly. And at number 1 is Despicable Me 2. The only film to take more than 40 million, 44 million. As a matter of fact, it's gone back into the top 20 this week in the chart. It's gone to number 16. An increase of takings of 138% at the box office. So it's gone back in the chart, and it deserves it, to be honest, because Despicable Me 2 is a fantastically fun film. Mm-hmm. I do have a problem in the fact that if you take the Minions out of the movie, you'll have a bit of an empty film because the Minions carry that film. But the Minions are absolute genius, and whoever came up with that creation, they just need a pat on the back. Because I was doing some Christmas shopping the other day, and I saw a toy shop was selling the fart gun, a Minions fart gun, and I was so tempted to buy it.
Can I just interject here? The very first time I was ever on this show was the review of the year 2011.
Right.
And if you listen back to that podcast, I clearly talk about inventing a fart gun of my own.
Oh.
So what's going on there?
Right.
The Minions stole your idea. How dare they?
How dare they indeed.
Right, so...
Anyway, back to reality.
That was the biggest earners of the year.
Yeah.
Now, what about the biggest raspberries of the year?
Well, that's interesting, because you've gone and thrown a spanner in the work there at me, and I need to find the list for it, because I wasn't expecting that.
Right, okay, well, I've got them here. Courtesy
Good.
of your good self.
Thank you.
At number 10, The Big Wedding. Don't even know what that is. What is that?
It's a collection of big actors starring in one of those ensemble kind of movies, so like New Year's Day or things like that. It's got Robert De Niro in it, and it's a snowfest. It's a major snowfest.
Okay, right. So it cost 35 million to make. It took 22 million. It only returned 63%. Number 9. Right, this is a movie. Ryan Reynolds. Oh my God, he's the kryptonite to superhero movies, to comic book movies, I should say. R.I.P.D. The Rest in Peace Department.
Rest in Police Department.
Well, whatever.
Oh, who cares?
Right, cost 130 million to make. It took 78 million, which was a return of only 60%. The legendary Jeff Bridges was in this,
yes,
and he looked
was.
so cool in it. Here's the thing: I read the comic book. Comic book was pretty pants. Have you seen this, Stuart?
Yes, I have.
And is it as bad? You know, I can't help feeling like I'm going to like it in a Hudson Hawk so terrible it's actually amazing sort of way. Or is it just terrible?
It's just terrible. It tries to be like Men in Black, but it tries to be like Men in Black 3.
Right. Which wasn't too bad, actually. I can't like Men in Black.
No, it was awful, that. But if you were trying to be like the first Men in Black, which is such an entertaining film, then maybe you could have gotten away with some of it. But it was such a boring movie. It was the overusage of CGI. It was terrible CGI as well. So it was just bad.
Okay. Number 8, a film again I haven't heard of. People, P-E-E-P-L-E, took 15 million to make, took 9 million, return of 60%.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't get the Medea films over here. Tyler Perry's movies.
Right.
I think this was just thrown out of the cinema for 1 week, but he's just got one out in America, Medea's Christmas or something like that. His character doesn't bode very well over here, and they're rubbish, to be honest.
Okay. Number 7 was The Getaway. Budget of 18 million, global taken 9 million, return 58%. Bad?
Oh, it's awful. It's Ethan Hawke, Selena Gomez. This was the film that was the lowest rating film of the year. It's got a 1% on Rotten Tomatoes, this film.
Wow.
And it is horrendous. I would even say Taken 2 is better than this.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, calm down, sir. Don't say things live on air that can't be taken back.
Number 6, budget of 20 million, global taking 11 million, return 55%. Battle of the Year?
Yeah, which is just a dance movie.
Right,
Battle of the Year.
Josh
Holloway's in it.
Right. Oh, of Lost?
Yes.
Wow. Who was in
Sawyer.
Mission Impossible 4 for like a minute?
Yeah, for a second.
Yeah. Right. I liked him. I actually think I would like to see him in Star Wars. I think he could play Han Solo, that kind of character.
Really? Josh Holloway?
Yeah, I really think he could do it.
All right, okay.
I what did you call him in Lost?
Sawyer.
I really like Sawyer's character. And I thought him and Hurley, their duo was
their
just brilliant.
camaraderie was
awesome.
awesome.
It was class.
Yeah, it was good.
Right. Number 5, budget of 35 million, global taking 19, return of 54%. Broken City. Oh, this is Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg, Russell Crowe, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Pass.
Yeah, it is a pass film. It's very boring. It's on for around about 2 hours, and it takes about 95 minutes, 100 minutes to even get started, and then you've only got 9 minutes left. It's just about corruption. It's a typical political thriller about corruption and police just getting involved in the corruption, and it's boring.
Mark Wahlberg in dreadful movie, shocker. Right.
Mark.
Number 4, 35 million budget, global taking 17, return of 49%. Parker. Is this the State?
Yeah.
And the one with Jennifer Lopez?
Yes. Again, it's a movie that's got a really good opening. The opening's actually pretty interesting, and the ending's okay. Everything in between is terrible, especially when Jennifer Lopez comes on the screen. When she pops up on the screen, you just want to...
Moving on.
Settle down.
Careful now.
When Jennifer Lopez appears on the screen, you just want to start throwing things at the screen to damage it because you don't want to see her.
I bet you do.
Settle down.
Right. Number 3, 35 million to make, global taking of 13.5, return of 39%. Paranoia.
Yeah, Liam Hemsworth, Gary Oldman. This film hasn't been released over here yet.
Haven't even heard of it.
Don't know when it's actually going to be released over here. It's a thriller with, like I said, Liam Hemsworth, Gary Oldman, Harrison Ford in it, and it's just about a guy who's in a powerful corporation, and he must spy on his boss because his boss supposedly holds some really interesting information. Don't know when it's going to get released over here, but it bombed at the US box office.
Okay. The next one. What was it? Right, the next one was 25 million budget, global taking of 9 million, return of 36%. This is a movie I actually kind of wanted to see because I thought it looked interesting, which was Bullet to the Head, Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, it's god awful. It's really, really, really bad.
Is it that bad?
Yeah, Andy thought it was okay. He thought it was a decent enough brain-dead action film with Stallone and Jason Momoa and Christian Slater. And then when you realise Christian Slater's in it, you know you've got a bit of a bad film. And Jason Momoa also. And none of them can act, but it's not supposed to be an acting movie. It's just bad. The action set pieces are so cheesy. But they're not so cheesy in a good way. They're so cheesily, terribly made. It's a bad film.
Yeah, well, you see, the thing that I thought was interesting is because I really like the character of Han in IMDb, and this is one of the only other things I'd actually seen that I can't remember the actor's name in.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's still a bad film.
All right. Okay. Right now, this one, the number 1, flop of the year. This does surprise me because even though I didn't see it, it's a movie that I was certainly interested in seeing, and it was getting an awful lot of buzz and press before it came out. It cost 28 million to make, took 6 million globally, and that's only a return of 21%, was Benedict Cumberbatch, the WikiLeaks movie, The Fifth Estate.
Yeah, considering that it's directed by Bill Condon, and it had Daniel Bruhl in it as well. Daniel Bruhl was previously in Rush, and he was fantastic in Rush. And he saw this film, and he thought, yeah, the acting's okay, but it's just surprising that it took as little money as it did in the worldwide box office.
Yeah.
It just didn't do well at all. When it opened up in America, the initial opening for it was on 6 screens, and it only took $698, which is ridiculous amount of money to take.
It's mad. Yeah.
For such a big movie as well,
Yeah.
like with such big actors in it.
Especially Benedict Cumberbatch is untouchable at the minute.
Yeah.
You know, and for him to make a movie that really...
I think it's because his hair was dyed blonde, let's be honest.
He did look a bit weird.
And that, and he was playing Julian Assange. But yeah, anyway.
Right. Conspiracy theories are going to have a field day with this show tonight.
Even Benedict Cumberbatch
Neighbouroo
could not
and now
make...
WikiLeaks.
Yeah, could not make that interesting.
We'll be talking about Bin Laden next. Right.
Yeah. Do you want... Let's talk about Bin Laden. He was a lad, wasn't he?
Let's talk about 9/11. Right, so... right.
And its sequel, 9/12.
Stuart, so, okay, right, so that was the biggest, highest grossing and the lowest grossing of the year. What else? Is there any other interesting charts we should be thinking about this year?
No, then, obviously.
Have we lost Stuart? There's a problem with this call.
Maybes.
Hold on, we'll try and get it back. Right, hold on, we're going to call him again here.
Brilliant. Dissolve into another big fella event.
Hello, Marc! No, still a problem.
Hello, Marc.
Stuart. Hold on, I think we've got it this time. There's internet. There's probably internet connection. Hold on, we'll try and get it back.
Technical problems. I was enjoying that there. I didn't even have to talk. It was great.
No, we can't get Stuart. Stuart is off air. Okay, right. So that was the big. I mean, that was the biggest films in the worst performers of the year, which is very interesting to hear. Okay, this is Shine 102.4 FM, and you are following the Nerd. I'm Marc.
I'm Saxon.
And your woman's sitting over there in the corner saying nothing. Right. Right. Okay. Let's see. What else have we got? We've got some more Christmas treats lined up. What have we got? Oh yes, we were going to play this earlier on before we get the Phantom Voices on the radio.
Yes, we were.
Let me see. Can we get it to work? I think we can.
The Phantom Menace, you might say.
Scrooged? Are we? Are we Scrooged fans here?
Of course. Bill Murray.
Yes. One of the top 5 Christmas movies.
The female dog hit me with a toaster.
Yes. Yeah. Amazing film. Such a good movie.
Yeah.
Frank Cross, arguably his best character outside of Peter Venkman. Yes.
Indeed.
Okay. This is from Scrooge. I love this.
That happened because it's Christmas Eve, I'm telling you. I'm not crazy. It's Christmas Eve. It's the one night of the year when we all act a little nicer. We smile a little easier. We share a little more. For a couple of hours out of the whole year, we are the people that we always hoped we would be. It's a miracle. It's really a sort of a miracle because it happens every Christmas Eve. And if you waste that miracle, you're going to burn for it. I know what I'm talking about. You have to do something. You have to take a chance. You do have to get involved. There are people that are having trouble making their miracle happen. There are people that don't have enough to eat. There are people that are cold. You can go out and say hello to these people. You can take an old blanket out of the closet and say, here. You can make them a sandwich and say, oh, by the way, here. I get it now. And if you give... Then it can happen. Then the miracle can happen to you. It's not just the poor and the hungry. It's everybody who's got to have this miracle, and it can happen tonight for all of you. If you believe in this spirit thing, the miracle will happen, and then you'll want it to happen again tomorrow. You won't be one of these bastards who says Christmas is once a year and it's a fraud. It's not. It can happen every day. You just got to want that feeling, and if you like it and you want it, you'll get greedy for it. You'll want it every day of your life. And it can happen to you. I believe in it now. I believe it's going to happen to me now. I'm ready for it. It's great. It's a good feeling. It's really better than I felt in a long time. I'm ready. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody.
You guys see Kevin?
Did I forget something, big man?
God bless us, everyone.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
So good, so good.